Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm back in my Udes14 Alt 5 Tier 8 Swedish Tech Tree tank, and I am platooned up with Thyderion. He's in his Pantera. I am fully upgraded with the 105. He is not fully upgraded. I think he has the first package, which is a 2-pack auto reloader. And we are big dogs. We're on Alamein, and I really have just been dying to get a Swedish and Italian platoon to have a really epic game that I can call Spaghetti and Meatball. For, of course, Italian spaghetti, Swedish meatballs. You get the picture. Now, Alamein, I like to take the position that Thyderion takes as long as somebody is on the beach. So since he's going there, I'm going to make sure that the beach is secure, and I'm going to head down to the beach, check to see what's following me, and as I look back, there is a medium in front of me. Just a little baby spyglass or scout, not a medium. But we take care of him before he can even get a shot. My teammate tracked him and he missed his shell, which is perfect. And we have nobody pushing, so I'm communicating with Thyderion, letting him know, like, hey, if you get all in, you don't have any cover fire, and I'm going to push up the beach. Hopefully these guys will follow me. I asked them to follow me. He's got a few tanks spotted in the middle of the map, and I am going to progress forward. Generally, if you poke this corner right here, you'll get a lot of red spotted, and I don't. So now I'm wondering how many tanks they actually sent up here. Now, the worst thing to do in this situation is just like bomb over the tracks and push in, just assuming that they don't have anything. So I'm going to use my 12 degrees of gun depression, poke this ridge, and before I do, we're going to switch back and talk about more situational stuff that Thyderion went through. Now, it is a replay. I don't have the auto reloader on here, unfortunately, because I'm in replay mode when we go through this, but I wanted to put our videos side by side because we both have very nice games to show you. So he's going to push in here. It looks like we have a lot of help coming this way, and that's at first he's like, our whole team's coming. We need to make sure, you know, as high tiers, we need to take the initiative, get the map control, and he makes a really aggressive line here. Now, why I say it's so aggressive, because generally there's going to be tanks across the gap right there, and he spots a Carnarvon. Generally there's going to be a few tanks there that are coming up here, and then there's going to be tanks down the 9-0 pushing into the tracks, and if they push over on top of him while he's making that run, he doesn't have any cover fire, whereas this location, if he just poked this ridge, he would have the medium behind him able to help him, potentially anybody up on the sniper hill in B5, but we don't have anyone now. But they do have some decent shots. But it didn't matter. They didn't have much of anything. So it was the aggressive line that he took actually was okay. He did get some intel. We figured out where the Carnarvon was. And the fact that they didn't really have anything that was coming up here from this angle. Now, the only thing we haven't checked is like E9, F0, and south of that, and you can see that I am moving in. I'm letting him know that I'm about to spot that, and he pops over this ridge, doesn't spot anything down in this gully, and has shots on the J-Pan2 that is looking at me. So the J-Pan2 is going to swing around. He's going to get a shot in. J-Pan2 misses. Our Tiger 131 hits him, and now it's just a matter of communication in between us to put this J-Pan in a crossfire. Now there's a Tiger 1 up to his right, so he can't really be too aggressive because the Tiger 1's going to have shots into his butt. So he puts shots towards the Tiger backs up, and then I let him know that I'm going to push over to help the J-Pan2. So he is going to look for shots to try to stay safe from the 110, but also get shots into the AMX. So he hits that first shot, and he's trying to shoot one at a time. That way he's got the highest DPM he can have. If he goes with both shells, he lowers his DPM. So I let him know that the 110 was looking at me, which allowed him to just pull around the rock, not have to worry about trading. So he gets a couple shots into the 110. The Tiger 131 is also pulled up to help, and the 110 is now in a pretty big predicament. Now the scout and the tiger behind him start to push on them. The tiger hits him. Our Artie takes out the 110. He moves over here thinking that he still had to deal with the 110 and to give him some cover fire from the guys pushing him behind him. They do take our 131. He looks for a shot on the scout. He doesn't have it. The Tiger 1 pulls up. He takes the Tiger 1 out. I come over the hill, take out the scout. And then we're going to push on this KV3, and then Artie deletes the KV3. So we don't have to worry about him. And now we are headed back to defend the base. But before we do that, let's look at my perspective of that whole situation. So the AC-46, or 48, I'm sorry, he's got a big gun turret on the back of his tank, which falls off once you get to the FOC, or the FOC 155. That no longer has the weak point up there, but we're able to get a shot in. And now we're going to use the gun depression. Look for a shot on the Tiger. The Tiger backs up. That's when Thyderion was looking at him as well as me. So he's going to get hit by 2 tier 8 medium tanks. The best thing to do is just back up and wait for your team. And then I realized that JPAN 2 all into the AMX. So I'm going to get a shot into the AMX, and then I'm going to try to spin to his side. And he would have shot me if he was clipped. He's got a 3-pack autoloader, so the fact that he did not shoot me, I'm guessing that he's loading. And since the 110 was nice enough to track me there, I'm going to aim my shot into his cupola and hopefully not get retracked here. I try to wiggle over without taking damage, but the 110 gets another shot into me. So since he was nice enough to put a couple shells in me, I'm just going to return the favor and get one into him. He's not looking at me. Artie swings and misses. I'm going to use my gun depression here. You can see it rocks up and down. That is kind of an annoying feature of this. Not only this tank, but the tier 9 does it too. Not sure if that's just like a bug that they need to fix or what, but once you're in position, the 12 degrees of gun depression is great. However, if you twitch around, sometimes the gun will bounce up and down. So hopefully that's just a cosmetic thing that they're going to be able to fix. Otherwise, you just gotta get used to it. Don't pull your trigger right away. Wait till you're actually aimed on your target. And as we head towards the KV3, our Artie takes him out. Now, we are left with just us two, a heavy and 2 Artie, and I'm wondering, how did we set up to where our team is all dead? So taking a look back at the beginning in the map, all of these guys are headed towards A, the middle, or B, the 1 line, and they just got outplayed. But really what I'm guessing what happened was they drove out into the middle of the desert and they got picked off. A lot of people ask me why I don't have 6th Sense. Well, it's because I learned the hard way. I pushed into a lot of deserts and got killed, and realized that pushing into open areas without being able to outspot my enemies is not a very good decision. So I learned A, when I'm moving around a map, take the low ground. B, don't take shortcuts. They usually are just shortcuts to the garage rather than shortcuts to where you want to get to. But if you do have 6th Sense and you're not spotted, then you can push forward into the field. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Alright, let's get back to the game. So we push in here. Carnarvon is waiting for us to come around the short side. He did not expect us to drive all the way up here, and that's what we were hoping for. Artie swings and misses at me again. So I let Thyderion know, and I want to try to ping where I think Artie is, so that way the heavy that abandoned us to go push on their cap will at least distract them, get shot at, or maybe even kill the Artie. That would greatly help. And then at this point, I believe I let him know, like, hey, you know, we're pretty much just going to have to try to put up the best defense we can and hope Artie just doesn't hit us. Because if Artie hits either of our tanks, we are very squishy, and their Artie can kill us. Now, 6th Sense would be great here. I don't know if I'm spotted. However, you'll watch the tank reaction, and you can tell when he spots me, right? So, like, he started moving his turret towards me. He hit the brakes. And even though I don't have 6th Sense, like, once his reticle got onto me, it said targeted, and I knew at that point for sure that I was spotted. But I could tell, like, as soon as he started turning towards me, that I was spotted. Get another shot into him. We should be able to take care of him, and then I realized that their Udes is coming around the corner, gets a shot into me, and now I just need to lock this guy down. But I can't stay still because of Artie, so do I take a shot at the King Dragon? No, I think the Udes is going to come back around. Sure enough, he does, but he comes back a little bit higher than I expected, so he's able to get a shot into me. And then Thyderion lets me know that there's a Carnarvon pushing on me. I didn't even notice he was back there. And lucky for me, Thyderion handles him, takes him down, and I don't even need to do anything. Alright, so let's look at that from his perspective. So we both missed the shots on the Carnarvon. That would have been huge. Take out the tier 8 heavy tank. We had 3 shells for him, not to mention we had Artie. If we were able to track him there, he probably would have been deleted. And we're not going to take shortcut, but this is where you can really see that, like, our ISM is just not committed to defending the base. He thinks it's best to push out into the open desert and go down to their cap. Probably just take care of Artie. He's probably, as a heavy tank player, I don't know if he is a heavy tank player, I'm just assuming. He gets shot by Artie a lot and it drives him crazy, so he sees the opportunity to go kill their Artie and wants to go and take advantage of that. So we are left to defend the base by ourselves because both our artillery are now dead. He's going to pull around the corner, miss a shot into the Carnarvon again. And he is targeted. Carnarvon spotted him, but I'm guessing that the King Dragon is looking at him. He cannot spot whatever is lighting him up. So he looks for a shot in the Carnarvon. Bounces the shell there, or tracks him, I'm not sure. But since the Carnarvon's red diamond flickered, he hit him in some capacity. You can see there's something behind the Carnarvon off to the right that's hitting this rock or the sand, so it's missing its shots on him. However, he can see the King Dragon, so he throws a shell. Once again, he's trying to keep his DPM the highest he can, so let that first shell reload before he shoots off the second one. And the King Dragon is nice enough to back up. Had he not backed up, he was hull down, and Thyderion really didn't have a good shot. He continues to back up, so Thyderion's able to put another shell into him, and rather than wait and take care of the King Dragon, he responds to me crying out for help from the Udes, and on his way over, he sees that the Carnarvon's coming, gives me the warning. I try to give him a juke step, but then he clutches up with that shot. How important that shot was not only to get damage into the Carnarvon, but he tracked the Carnarvon, and the Carnarvon could no longer get his gun down on me. I can't say it enough, shooting drive wheels off, either rear drive wheels or front drive wheels, that is a huge component to this game and will help you not only get assist damage, but it will also help your teammates get through situations. Alright, so this is an interesting scenario. We knew the King Dragon was over here, so I take the tight corner. If he wants to get me, he's got to come out wide. Thyderion's got more hit points, so he takes it wide, pretty much lets the King Dragon shoot him once, knowing that he can take the shell, and then we take him down. Thyderion let me know he shot. So then I pulled around the corner, but Thyderion took care of him. I would have shot him if Thyderion bounced or missed. And where are the TDs? Well, we expect them to be down in K6. At this point, we're trying to make a plan. They have 2 options. They're either going to come up towards the cap, but they haven't done that since the rest of their team did, so we're assuming that they're heading this way to defend the cap. And sure enough, like right as we start talking about it, they get lit up, or one of them gets lit up. And we're assuming, since it's a Japan 2 and a Iron Rain, that the Japan 2 is moving. Now we got a few options. We could head to the middle, but I feel like we can get stuck there. We could head down the one line, which is obviously the long route. We could head north, but then I feel like we're exposing our cap if they decide to cap after they kill our ISM. And then I decide that I'm going to head down through the middle, stay to the right of the middle coverage, and Thyderion's going to work to the middle and then work back up into these hills. So we can keep them in this little red zone, and we can use our vision to try to get crossfires on them. And it took us a little while, probably longer than what the ISM was happy about, to make that situation. But the alternative to us taking the time to strategize is running in there trying to help the ISM, and essentially all three of us dying. So since we have communication with us and not the ISM, we had to sacrifice our ISM, or we chose to sacrifice our ISM so we could get in advantageous positions to hopefully win this game. So come down to a 2v2. These TDs really haven't participated towards the end. Arguably, like, we're not sure what they were doing, but I'm guessing they were a large part of why the team died in the beginning. Like, they were set up probably down in K6 and then chewed up our team as it drove into the desert, and we won the north and we pushed back to the base. They stayed down, defend their base, and now we are left to fight them, and we do not have a lot of hit points to take care of an Iron Rain and a J-Pan 2, which have deadly guns. We do have a Brothers in Arms, so we talk about that. Like, if we can pull this off with the Brothers, that'd be great. And I don't have shots in the J-Pan 2, so I got to move up, utilize the 12 degrees of gun depression, and I crit him, and I get spotted. But I do spot the Iron Rain, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to outspot this Iron Rain. So we know exactly where they're at. They're still both down here. And Thyderion's moving up to the top of the hill. So I tell him I'm going to keep my head down, wait till he gives me the go ahead to move up into position. And I thought I was high enough, but when I looked down my gun barrel, I realized I'm not quite high enough. So I got to move up a little bit more. And then now I can set my binos up. And the J-Pan gets spotted, peeking, and Thyderion's got shots in him. So he gets one in. I don't really want to shoot because I know that if I shoot, I'm going to get spotted. Last time I shot at the J-Pan 2, I was spotted doing it. So I figure the Iron Rain is probably staring over in this direction. If I get lit up, they take me out and we lose our crossfire. So I decide that I'm going to... I'm sorry, excuse me, it's a J-Pan, not a J-Pan 2. I decide that I can take a shot into the J-Pan and back up, especially since he's moving. I don't want him to get away. And Thyderion decides to expose himself to the Iron Rain to take the J-Pan out. And then you see the Iron Rain misses, throws up the dust cloud right in front of Thyderion as he backs away off that hill. And now it's just a vision game to the Iron Rain. And I let Thyderion know, like, hey, let's load HE here. And even though he's got a drum of AP, he switches to HE, and that is going to help us take the Iron Rain down. Now, if you auto-lock an Iron Rain with HE, you may hit his tracks. So if you switch to HE to take care of a German tank destroyer that has a thin turret, or thin turret armor, you definitely want to make sure that you're aiming. If you just throw blind HE shells at him, it's probably not going to be as effective as obviously hitting the turret with the HE shell. Now, you chance hitting the gun and not doing any damage, but you may break his gun, so that's not the end of the world either. But it's so effective to use HE shells on these types of tanks. So once again, Thyderion's moving into a location. He's going to go to the 0 line, and we decide he's got to go all the way to the 0 line. Make sure that he doesn't put himself in a situation where the Iron Rain can spot him and I can't get shots on the Iron Rain, because if one of us dies, it's going to be very tricky to take an Iron Rain out. Even though he does have a 3-shell autoloader, and it's going to take a little while to load that up, I'm still a distance away. So I throw a shell at the Iron Rain, I land it right into his turret, hit him huge, and then Thyderion hits him for 320 with his HE shell, and now the Iron Rain is down to 310, and Thyderion is closing in, and he lands that shot. So we're able to take it down. We were super pumped, especially like this night before we were platooned up with guilds, and between the three of us, we were trying to carry games, and our team was just, dying at very quick rate, so it was hard to carry. But we worked together. We had really good communication. We didn't overextend so the other couldn't cover. We were making sure that we were playing off each other. And that's one of the things that I feel like Thyderion and I used to do a lot when he played a lot. And now we've gotten to play with each other a little bit more consistently. Even though it's for like short periods of time, our communication has really gotten better. And one of the things we wanted to work on was like, why did we used to be so good, but now we struggle? And I feel like we're closing that gap too. So this game is, to me, it's fun by myself, but I feel myself playing a lot more conservative. Whereas when I'm platooned up, you can play a little bit more aggressive, but you can't carry games if you don't have good communication and game planning. So this is where he takes the J-Pan out, and as he backs up, the Iron Rain hits the sand right in front of him, and now he's going to wait until he goes dark. He also does not run 6 cents on his Pantera. And I spot the Iron Rain. He's looking for shots. He lets me know that he doesn't have shots here. But when you do get the opportunity to carry a game like this and your communication is spot on, your game planning is spot on, it is so rewarding and fun. And that's what keeps me coming back. I'm kind of a psychopath in the fact that I like to grind the tanks. Like, to me, grinding up the lines was one of my favorite parts of the game. Since I completed all that and we haven't had new content for like a year and a half, I was dying to get the Sweetium so I could start working again. Now I'm just working on getting a lot of silver so I can buy tanks back. That way when I start streaming, if you guys want me to pick a certain tank, I will have that tank available, but it also needs to fit in my schedule and something that I can commit to. So I'm still working on that, along with the game room, because it does have to be somewhat soundproof with my noisy household. I don't think you guys would appreciate me streaming when I just have so much background noise. It can get pretty irritating. Alright, so this is where he makes his move. He moves up, looks for a shot. He hits that first shot into the side of the Iron Rain's head. Iron Rain looks to find a shot in him, and he's just got this sliver to shoot at, and he lands that shot, and we pull the game down. So this is actually his game. 3,600 damage, 222 assisted, 5 kills. We get our brothers in arms. He gets his high caliber. Excellent game. The Spaghetti and Meatball is accomplished. He doesn't run premium, but he does make 36,000 there. You also see he didn't have any premium loaded. That's not something that he usually does. It's just when he bought the first upgrade, he didn't put APCRs in. So he was just grateful that we were in a high tier game. You're in a tier 10 match, that's going to be pretty painful. So then this is my game. I do run premium, so I got 34, almost 35,000, and 3,000 damage, 1,500 assisted, aced it with the brothers, and I get the sniper medal. We were super pumped. Couldn't wait to see what the team did either, because they died so fast. So we pulled down 9 kills, 6,800 damage. Our AMX M449, not sure. I mean, he must have been in the south. He did 2,000 damage. Our ISM only did 1,102 kills, so he pretty much just killed Artie. But he did keep TDs, busy long enough for us to get down there, and he killed Artie, which I can't stress the importance enough of that to help us get through that. But I'll quit babbling. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.